The Independent Fiscal Commission, recent Independent Fiscal Commission's report that was posted on its website regarding the government's budget figures. Of note, Madam Speaker, the Independent Fiscal Commission was created by this government to analyze the government's budget and offer a second independent opinion. Madam Speaker, we respect the opinion of the Independent Fiscal Commission. And I want to address directly an observation of the Independent Fiscal Commissioner that he made in his Economic and Fiscal Assessment Report, because it deserves a direct answer and not silence. The Commissioner has expressed concern that our nominal GDP growth projection of 9.2% and our real GDP growth of negative 0.5% imply a GDP deflator of approximately 9.7%, and that this appears inconsistent with current inflation trends and with historical post-disaster price behavior. Madam Speaker, I respect that concern. The Independent Fiscal Commission exists precisely to ask these questions, and this House and this country are better served when I answer them plainly. For context, Madam Speaker, the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, measures the change in the cost of living for consumers. This figure includes the cost of imports and the locally produced goods, while the GDP deflator measures how the prices of everything produced within Jamaica has changed. Madam Speaker, we're seeing significant increase in the cost of construction. Try buying some housing material. Try hiring a workman, a plumber, or a mason. If you can find one, as country people would say, you have to pay through the nose. There is more inflation than we would like in construction costs. The Independent Fiscal Commissioner also pointed to the fact that government's reconstruction activities have not revved up yet, and so the inflation, as measured by the GDP deflator, could not be as high as estimated. I want to call the Commissioner's attention to the fact that there is a lot of reconstruction activities happening all over Jamaica on the part of businesses and private people. Madam Speaker, the bottom line is CPI and GDP deflator are related, but not the same thing. In normal times, they track closely, and there's little difference. However, in the aftermath of an event like a Category 5 hurricane, where domestic production in certain areas has been decimated with scarcity influencing price of locally produced goods, and there's a surge in demand for reconstruction from citizens and businesses, we can have a wider than usual variance between CPI and the GDP deflator. It is not abnormal or suspicious. Madam Speaker, I also want to acknowledge the Commissioner's more pointed concern, and I will be candid about it. He's right that government's reconstruction activity in Jamaica has historically been delayed. He's right that capital underspending at the level of government is an issue. But, Madam Speaker, if our GDP deflator projection rests entirely on government-executed reconstruction, I would be standing here on weaker ground, but it does not. The primary driver of near-term reconstruction price pressure will be the private sector by way of insurance-financed hotel refurbishment, household rebuilding, and foreign direct investment in damaged commercial infrastructure. That activity does not pass through our procurement system, and it will not wait. That activity, Madam Speaker, for those who travel the length and breadth of Jamaica, they will see that activity in full bloom all over Jamaica. Madam Speaker.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our seasons. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show for this Tuesday evening, the 21st day of July. Welcome. Welcome. You know, there's a saying that says some people have elephant memory. And we take you back to the budget presentation. You heard what Freeval said? It's the private sector that going to the rebuilding. Good evening and welcome. Welcome to all my viewers, all my listeners, all my subscribers, all the Portland Spice ambassadors. Nordy, good evening. Auntie Elaine, Celine, Cherry, Megawatt, Volt, big up yourself, Yvonne Green, Loxley G, Caroline. Welcome, welcome everybody. Welcome. Share up the lap, please. Your entry fee, pay your entry fee. A thumbs up is your entry fee. Welcome to Portland Spice TV. We're the best discussion on governance, the best information on finance is right here. You know, leave the job a little early today. Came up 2 hours before showtime. So I was scrolling through TikTok and watching the labor right bloggers and doggers them. The crowbaits. I was watching some of them. Yeah, man. Marcia, big up yourself. There. And I, you know, one time I try to watch them, I always hear something. Hear them pleading to their ministers to pop up on their channel. And I hear them saying that some of the things that people are saying about Jamaica, you wonder if they are Jamaicans. And I wanted to ask them if the truth matters. Because it sounds like they don't want the truth to come out. But we will speak the truth and speak it ever, cause it what it will. And we know that there are lots of people out there trying to suppress the truth, trying to shut down data, even their own data that they put out. They don't want it to be exposed. They would prefer if when they post the data on their website, it stay there and nobody sees it. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. You want good news to be out there, do good. You know, there's a picture going around. There's a picture going around. And I believe it is incumbent on me to put up this picture. A picture showing corruption. And if some people can, they would want to hide this picture. But this is what we've been talking about when we talk about the level of embarrassment that is caused to Jamaica by these people who are trying to get rich off the backs of the Jamaican people. When you have a picture like this that we can show and have no fear of showing it, it tells a damning story. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. When you can put up this picture on your screen and you're not afraid that you can be sued because the picture is true. 3 ministers, one prime minister, millions unexplained wealth, millions that they can't explain. Sad. And like Brother Desmond said, they don't want us to talk about it. They don't want us to talk about it. The Integrity Commission is being dragged through the mud. And I hear one senior journalist said, with all its warts. And I want to know what are the warts of the Integrity Commission. The series of meetings started by the Jamaica Labour Party, they're dubbing it Truth Matters. I know a lot of my listeners, them don't like to hear them when they speak, but we have to listen to them because they are the leaders of the country. And some people who don't want to hear them need to ask yourself, did you do enough on the 3rd of September, leading up to the 3rd of September, to have removed them? Because a lot of people are talking, Some of them never go vote. Some of them alone go vote. And the question must be asked, did you do enough? But truth matters. And I want to go back to one more clip from Auntie Faval. This is what she told the Jamaican people.
In the midst of a serious war that has sent oil prices soaring on the global market, Jamaica imports 100% of our oil, either as crude oil, which Petrojam refines, or as finished products. Petrojam projects its sales target at 12.22 million barrels for 2026. Add to this the millions of barrels that other suppliers in Jamaica buy for our consumption as households and businesses. Madam Speaker, the war in the Middle East has layered another risk in terms of rising oil prices in Jamaica.
Hold on.
But Madam Speaker, I want to say to the Jamaican people and businesses, you can continue to have faith in this government.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Hallelujah. Tell us.
We have built the largest net international reserves of any government, Madam Speaker.
Hallelujah.
Madam Speaker, the net international reserve stands strong at US $6.839 billion as of March 5th, 2026. And Madam Speaker, if we take the gross rather than the net reserves and measure it in weeks of goods and services imports, that would be 36 weeks, based on the official figures that the Bank of Jamaica publishes. The global international benchmark is 12 weeks, meaning it's considered adequate for a country if its gross reserves covers 12 weeks of goods and services import. Jamaica has 36 weeks, Madam Speaker.
So she never get to the part where she said we don't need to worry because they have our backs. Good evening, caller.
Hello?
Good evening, uncle.
Good afternoon. Good evening, Colin. How you do, my brother?
I am worried about my
You
country.
worry?
About my country and the economic state that my country is in. I am worried.
This vice note, which is going around, both PNP and NARA and the CEO, what is all about, Colin? Tell me what this vice note is about.
I don't know. You tell me. I never hear it.
You must hear it, man.
Why?
You must because it a play upon radio and
it a play
also
upon nationwide. It a play upon GLPFM.
Well, that's still radio. And the station and people are listening. What is it about, Colin? We need to know.
Then you tell me.
We need to hear from.
Tell me no, uncle. Tell me no. Nara na start. Nara na start, you know. Nara want gas. Nara want a push start.
What I want to find out, there is any truth to it?
Truth to what?
This vice note about the CEO and NARA. There's any truth to it?
But you don't realize, what did I tell you about the voice note? Eh?
You say not hear it. You say not hear it.
Then not that, Mr. Brother.
All right, this is so strange. Anyway, make I move on. Make I move on to my next point. Mr. Bell.
Yes.
The PNP ever sit down and ask themselves the question, how is it that they see the GLP people being a set of dunce and idiot, but still they have win? Hello?
Yes, man. May I listen to you, man? May I listen to you?
But still, the GLP were able to win 3 consecutive general elections.
That no mean say, hold on. You ever hear what saying when you go to school, say a fool and his money shall soon depart? So it means that the fool can make money, you know.
But Colin, you don't think it will be disrespectful to the Jamaican electorate, where majority of them has choose a government?
But anybody who vote for the GLP needs to be disrespected. You can't vote for a prime minister whose statutory filing cannot be certified and expect people to respect you.
Colin, you not think you should ask yourself the question, what is it the PNP is doing that is wrong, that the electorate still do? All right, make I work with you. Make we agree to disagree that the Jamaican people go and voted for a man in who you say...
Who me say what you say? What you say? Is the Prime Minister statutory filing certified?
No.
Exactly. So
and I'm saying to you, Mr. Bell.
Yes.
The Jamaican electorate...
You ambassador, why do you think that you
still go out and voted for
the labor rights go, the labor rights who are a set of cult go out and vote for a prime minister whose statutory filing is not certified.
Not so just what all right. What could have cause those PNP who is not coming out to vote for PNP to win the government? Where is the problem?
Let me tell you where the problem is. The PNP them go vote. And the GLP them go vote. But you have a set of Jamaicans who believe that voting does not matter and politics no matter. So them sit down at them yard and don't care. Those I would refer to those, some of them as educated dons, some of them lack understanding about governance and politics. So is a number of categories of people. But the ones who voted for the Jamaica Labour Party are the Labourites who are part of the cult, and some of them who don't understand nothing, so then just go vote for what people tell them to vote for. And one more thing, I would admit that the GLP base is now bigger than the PNP base. Yeah.
All right, yes. So what could have caused the PNP for that 60 or 50% who is sitting down? Why the PNP cannot convince them that the PNP is better so they can come out and support the PNP?
That is a question. That is a question that needs answering. But also, there's a part of it that some of those people cannot be convinced because they tell themselves that politics not do nothing for them and them now vote. So that's why there's a set of them, when me refer to as educated dons, because I know some of them who are well schooled and you can't get them vote.
Mr. Bell.
Neither for the PNP nor the GLP, they now vote.
Mr. Bell.
Yeah.
Don't blame the people them alone. Something is wrong on the PNP side that the PNP not able to convince them. Something not add up with the PNP.
Something wrong. Yes, something wrong there too. Yes, there is something that the PNP need to sort out to convince more people who are not aligned to any political party to come out and vote for the PNP. Yes, there's something wrong, but there's also something wrong with anybody who vote for a prime minister whose statutory filing cannot be certified.
Don't blame the people them who is voting for the GLP, because
yes, I have to blame them too, because they are Neville. You voted for a corrupt party. I mean, I have to tell you that. You voted for a party with a whole bag of people who are getting rich on the backs of the poor Jamaican people. You voted for them.
Mr. Bell.
You voted for a man. You know where? Western St. Mary there?
Southeast St. Mary.
Oh, Southeast St. Mary there. So you lose. For your vote lose. Yeah, you lose.
You're ready. You're ready for rub salt in that.
Like the people them now Western St. Mary, they voted for a man that take taxpayers' money go buy used car for police. No, we can't get all of the used car them. Like the people in Western Portland who voted for a man who used $1.4 billion to buy free bus. Bus where could I get free?
Mr. Bell,
yes.
I put it to you. I put it to you without a shadow of a doubt that a lot of the sales agent for the PNP is doing a very poor job, and they cannot convince nobody to buy their product. I put it to you.
And I will accept that as a point. You have a point there too. So we need better salesmen out there, yes.
Because the thing about it, them are cost labor. All right, Mr. Bell, you're a very educated man. Can you cost a woman now and within 5 minutes there you expect to beg her sex for she to go to bed with you? I expect her to go to bed with you?
No, I don't see
you
it
don't
that
think
way.
it's going to be, you don't think it's going to be, you don't think it's going to be difficult.
Yes, but you have someone who do it. You have someone who do it. Because look what the GLP do. The GLP lick down poor people house and poor people still vote for them.
Do you know that
Hey,
those
tala, tala.
GLP bloggers where you talk about, do you know that they are not workers of the Labour Party? They're blogging, but they are not
But
workers
them I
of the
get
Labour
paid.
Party
Them I
because
get
they
paid for
can't.
blog too.
Eh?
They're getting paid to blog as well.
I don't know about that, sir. I don't know about that because I have been accused right here of being getting paid. And if a Labour Party alone, me dead hungry, me
No
not
man, but you
put
get
a cup of tea.
you get for your food out of Labour Party long time from Bruce Golden days, and you make use and you make damn good use of it. So no tell nobody, no fool nobody over here. When Bruce
make what?
Golden, you get for your food from Bruce Golden days, and you make damn good use of it. So you don't need no more later. Later, you must think we fool around here. You make damn good use of what you get under Bruce Golden. Well done. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Good afternoon, Colin.
Blessings and
Before
welcome.
I get into what I want to say, let me just
Your boyfriend was just on the line.
No, that's why I'm calling. I want Nikki to know, that the government elected is a reflection of the society.
Yes.
And that is exactly why we're in this position with Andrew Holness. The choking and the corruption is the order of the in Jamaica. So it's not about the PNP losing and the PNP did not come out to vote. If Jamaica wanted to rise above the JLP administration, they would have voted out this man. It's not since yesterday that this corruption is going on in this government. It is a reflection of what the society has become under this government, and that is why he's still here.
Yes.
So don't tell Nick it have nothing to do with PNP and how the PNP can't win and how the people wanted Andrew Holness. Yes, they wanted him because they see themselves in him.
PNP have to take some blame
yes,
for losing the last election.
We're not dispute that.
I am not going to let off my party free.
Colin.
I believe that we gave away, we blundered in the last election. And anybody to be blamed is the PNP must take the blame for losing the last election.
Day, Colin,
yeah.
We're seeing it around the world. If the people want change, then the change can come because the power is in the people.
Yes, the people have
just
the power.
Like the people down in the west, in St. Elizabeth, in Montego Bay, in Westmoreland and all of those places who still underneath the pepper light them off the sky.
Yes.
You feel like if they wanted to move from underneath the pepper light of the sky, they would have moved already. They choose to be that way because they have the power. Them can get international media and tell them to ask Andrew Holness where the donation money there.
Yes.
Where the people them give.
Yes.
But they choose to stay there. Nobody is making any sound. It's like everybody is comfortable getting wet and dry on a daily basis. Nobody seems to care.
And like we worry about them more than how them worry about themselves, eh?
More than how them worry about themselves. Right? So if they wanted to make a change, if they wanted change, the change would have happened. But I want to tell us say, we didn't have to stop what Andrew pocket and what Andrew money because it's obvious to say it's his money on our what. That's why now spend.
Yes.
I feed money. So I want him to start take some trip to Switzerland and the Alps and some of them nice expensive chalet there. Go on to Norway, go watch the Northern Lights.
You know, so the man got World Cup and people are asked who pay for the trip. What rubbish?
Spending money.
What rubbish? The man got World Cup and go in a private box. I now wonder who pay for the trip.
Yeah, man.
No must not pay for the trip. How else must pay for it? Hey,
yeah.
Now no pay.
Even if it come out and pocket, stop watch the man pocket.
Hey.
Stop watch the man pocket and stop watch the man donation money.
All right.
It's still money.
Hey, yes, tala.
If the people them from down the west, they want to come from underneath the starlights of the sky, then when they move already, they're comfortable with their living condition.
Me no see no march. Me no see no march going down the west. Me no see no uprising down there.
Them comfortable.
Of course.
Everybody's fine.
Yes.
You only hear uproar when I say 1 and 2 people come from food platform, the PNP platform, then come talk about them living condition and then somebody decide to help them. That's the only way you know that people actually still suffer.
There's no uproar down
because
there. There's
nobody
no
is making any sound.
No outcry.
There's no uproar. Quiet. There's nothing.
A man tell me one day,
so
him say closed mouths don't get fed. So
and that is why they're still in the condition that they're in 10 months later.
Make them turn down there, they're quiet.
Yeah, but every day when you come over here and we beat up promote about Andrew money and what Andrew now from what he might do, and not now get me okay, because guess what? The persons who are talking are not the ones affected.
Yes.
The ones who are affected, not saying a word. So what change is going to happen? If Andrew look on the ground and him, him sending people them to go around and check where the noise coming from, and him say, bossy, some of them people that watch out to live a yard.
Yeah.
Some of them people who attack a roof over them, you don't have to worry about yourself, man. Take your time. The one that were affected now, they not make no sound.
Yes.
So we can take our time.
Mm-hmm. Boss,
you think anything
you
about
do a good job, boss. You don't worry yourself. You're safe.
Yeah, man. Man, we're safe, man. We can go on palav same way, man. We have a couple more months left, man. Just go and hold it until about, next year when you see the election of people on the corner, you just start announcing 1 and 2 things, you demand them, and then we're good.
When parish council election are come, you give them a $5 grand and 10 grand, man.
Yeah, man. They do 1 and 2 house from one corner and just
man.
2 ribbon.
Give them 2 containers and show say, yo, see the container house them, man.
Yeah, man. Say them, yeah, man.
Nothing.
Say, I need to know what? Say them, yeah. Boss, they were good, man. Just go on palav and just go on dating, man. Nobody not paying no mind. Nobody not paying attention to what take place. The one that was supposed to cry, now cries. Everybody comfortable. Everybody good prospect at work.
If the people ended have a problem, boss, they would have hit the street. You know, see nobody else not hit the street.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
yeah, so when they then people want to protest down across road and nobody even really pay no mind. Just one day and then everybody just quiet again.
Yeah, man.
Everything good, man.
Yeah, man.
Nothing to worry about, bossy. Everything solid.
Yeah.
That is what's happening. So no matter how much noise we make over yesterday at daytime, it's not going to change anything at all, because majority of the ones that are over here is in the diaspora. And even if they're not in the diaspora, they have a roof over their head, they have a job, they can go about their business as usual. But the one that might feel it calling, not saying anything.
Is it that why? Could it be that they are too weak to speak?
No, it's not about weakness. They're already conditioned a particular way underneath this government.
I've been telling you all, and
whenever the government wants something,
I've been telling you.
Whenever the government wants something, they go out and they give it to you because they want something in return. They don't want anything from you right now.
Hold on. I've been telling you, you are a trained person. I am a trained person. Anything that takes 6 weeks to break you. And once you go through that 6 weeks, you start to cope.
Okay. You're conditioned.
Yes.
You're conditioned.
Once you go through that 6 weeks.
It takes long to condition people, So the government has conditioned the country to wait until they are being fed. Wait to be fed.
Yeah, man.
That's why they condition them. Wait to be fed.
No,
when they want something from you, they come out. They come out when they want something from you, and they just give. And you feel nice. Oh, my prime minister give me this. The prime minister that. With road a fix.
No, the video with the chicken, I'm going to get that video there and play for you,
Yeah, man.
The video with the chicken where the politician de-fed at the live
prime
chicken,
example.
And when the chicken almost dead, him take out some corn out and packet and hand it to the chicken. And the chicken just come to him and the chicken now left him because he have like a corn.
But we don't even have to go that far. The common road that we drive on, take Spanish Town Road, for example. How much are we fronting, lick out in a Spanish Town Road, day in, day out. And then when all of a sudden election comes, Spanish Town Road start to asphalt off. And then you hear people say, oh, Spanish Town Road, carpet.
Yeah, man.
But then I remember how much in months a mechanic put him back there front end and a line up. Because it leak out.
People in memory shot.
But then get 1 month of smooth road because it shows that book says rainfall. Spanish Town Road gone back to where it was. So then get 1 month out of smooth road and then memory lose. The memory gone. So they are well conditioned. It's not about trying to come out with the government. They are conditioned.
Someone say, Colin, we are resilient people. Long suffering.
Yeah, man, make we stay long suffering.
Long suffering.
Long suffering. And that Andrew teach them.
Yes.
To be resilient and favorite word. And you wonder why I use it so much. Because it conditioned the people to be that way.
Don't worry yourself, man. Jamaicans are resilient people.
Resilient people.
Yeah, man.
They can take separation. So it's about being scared to come out If
They
when
are
Jamaicans want to
resilient.
protest, they protest on things that don't concern them.
Yeah. You see the next thing,
On things that
caller?
don't concern them, they make a lot of noise.
The next thing, we are not our brothers and sisters keeper. If there's something not happen
No,
to
we're
you directly,
selfish.
if it not happen to you directly, then to hell with it.
Exactly.
You deal
Just
with
like
it.
when the police them go and them kill people left, right, and center. Everybody who is not affected, oh, a criminal in for dead.
Yeah.
Until them kill somebody for you and you realize that person was innocent.
I have a friend who told me
It is
that.
all fun and game.
I have a friend who told me that if Andrew kill off the criminal them, Andrew kill off the murderer them. So he say, if two innocent people
Colin.
get killed in night, shaka or nothing that. Me say, what?
Colin.
If two innocent people get killed in night and or nothing. I saw some people see it.
But deductive reasoning. If crime is going down, who the police them a kill?
No innocent people.
Exactly. If crime is going down, crime is trending down according to them.
Yes.
So who are all these murderers that is taking on the police, brave like any white knight? That is taking on the police in every single situation.
As police push out, man, them a shoot off a police.
Okay.
And
me have my anti me. And all
I
of a sudden me find one gun and I kill you.
And I say, if a guy shoot off of the police for done
He
it.
deserve for dead.
Yes.
Yeah, man, if you get done.
Every day and 4 times per Sunday. If you shoot off a
yeah,
police,
man, if you challenge the police,
you must
the police
meet
have
your
a
maker.
right
You must meet your maker. I just want to be sure that them shoot off of the police. And that's why I'm saying to Andrew Holness and Horace Chang and Dr. Kevin Blake, if the police not wearing body cameras, is because you three don't want them to wear it.
But
and I say that
the pepper spray
without
Desmond
any...
eye.
Oh, tala.
The pepper spray Desmond eye. I sure them don't want the body cam put the pepper spray Desmond. No.
May I tell you, we are going to run though.
Them
Thank you.
Pepper spray Desmond eye.
Yes. I will say it.
Colin.
I will say it one more time. If the police are not wearing body camera, it is Andrew Holness, Horace Chang, and
the
Dr. Kevin
don't want
Blake,
them to wear it.
who does not want them
to wear it. Simple as that.
Because if it is one thing that I am sure of, our policemen and our army men, they are men who operate under instruction. And they take orders. They are trained to take orders.
Complain
and if they are given the orders to wear body camera, they will wear them. But guess what?
It's not they will. It's not they will.
They have to wear them.
They have to.
I know.
They have to.
So we say it again. Andrew Holness, Horace Chang, Dr. Kevin Blake have no interest in police wearing body camera. Thank you, my lady.
Once upon a time, Colin, just before I go, once upon a time, the thing that they have over the face now, the balaclava, was against force policy. Once upon a time, it was against force policy.
But no, it's all right.
You couldn't go out there with the face covered.
But it's all right now.
But now it's okay.
It's okay.
It's
all
okay.
right. Bless you, my caller. One love.
Okay.
1-876-804-7072. When you have a government that refuses to take any blame, the doctors are saying that Dr. Christopher needs to apologize because what they demonstrated for, what they protest for, is not what Dr. Tufton is saying. I'm going to go to the caller, but I want to say this before. The hike in the toll price, in the toll fee, anybody who wants to blame the PNP, you are a fool. You are stupid. Or you are a deceiver. You are the devil. The hike in inflation is the responsibility of the Andrew Holness-led administration. It is because gas price at the pump has skyrocketed. Costs of transportation in Jamaica has gone out of whack. And it is a direct result of Andrew Holness and his administration removing the oil edge, not improving on the oil edge, but removing the oil edge. And now that the shit hits the fan, we don't want to blame the PNP. Come on, Jamaican people. Stop make them take we for fool. Majority of us are not fools. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Good evening, Calvin. Yes, a blessed top of the evening to
Blessings.
you and your listeners in Spiceland. Colin,
Yes.
a lady, we're talking earlier about how everybody all right with him. May I agree with her. All right with him. Especially the one them who get paid for the vote already. They get paid, he don't have to give them nothing. Nothing you don't have to give them. They pay them already for their vote. Colin, can you tell me? I heard a lot of things going on that is rules that he putting in and laws that he putting in now. How many of them is it so far?
Who are putting rules and laws?
The Prime Minister with it. I know the Traffic Act, the RADA thing and all those things that they putting in now.
What RADA thing? That farmers should sign up with RADA?
Yeah.
If farmers want assistance, they must sign up with RADA. If you want assistance,
that's not the one.
You have to show that you are a farmer. There's nothing wrong signing up with RADA. If you want like a seed, if you want advice, if you want assistance, the government needs to know that you are farming. So there's nothing wrong with signing up so that you can be on the list.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the people that will be doing a little farming in their backyard. That may be not in farming.
Let me tell you.
Have to be signed up with RADA.
Let me tell you this. If you're doing some farming in your backyard and you don't intend to sell nothing, you don't have to sign up. If you just choke to something around there, sir. But once you have an intention to sell anything at all, you should sign up and you should get your receipt book.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I understand that. That can be understood.
Yes.
But you notice all the things that he putting in place and what he's doing now. Nobody hold him to the fire during the election time.
Exactly.
For not coming with a manifesto.
It's not
just
a manifesto, caller. Hold on. This Prime Minister implement a law and put in place an institution to enforce that law. Yeah?
Yeah.
When that institution said to the Prime Minister, for you to comply with this law, we need certain information from you. The Prime Minister refused to give that information, saying that him lawyer saying nothing get.
Right.
How can the top lawmaker be a lawbreaker? But the people of Jamaica, well, not the people of Jamaica, the labor rights, don't see that as a problem. Instead, they are blaming the institution for holding the Prime Minister accountable. That's what labor rights are doing.
That's the reason why I said this Prime Minister shouldn't be allowed to sign nothing in law.
Oh, tala.
Shouldn't be.
You should be able to comply with the law before you make law for people. I agree with you.
He don't notice all the things that he signed off on. At the end of the day, they say it is not them, or they say he did not agree with one part. That's what happened with this Prime Minister. Look at the bill what he signed for the toll right now. Now they want to say it's not them. Right?
The bill that he signed for the what?
The law for the IC. No, we have to take them back to court.
The bill. Hold on. Slow down, caller.
Right now.
Caller, slow down. The bill that he signed for what?
With the IC commissioner.
For the illicit enrichment.
If for instance, he want to take out that and
he want the
one
court
to sign it.
Exactly. The Prime Minister is not able to comply with the laws that he's implementing.
Right. So he's not supposed to, because he's proved to the world that he don't read nothing.
Hey boy.
Right?
Hey boy, hey boy, hey boy. Tell
Even it goes right back to the
Something
tool
like
when
that.
they say one sign.
But caller,
And now,
hold on. Whether Prime Minister Andrew Holness signed that toll law or not,
yeah.
if let's say that the law was signed in 2012,
Mhm.
if they had a problem with it, why then didn't they change it?
There you go.
You know what the Prime Minister told us, my brother? It is Andrew Holness who said to us that it's the government that makes the laws, and he wants everybody to know that the government can change the law. You ever hear
There
him
you
say that?
go.
You ever hear him say that?
So why did he change it then? Yes. Then
Listen to
why
him
did
saying
he
it.
change it then?
Listen this. Listen this.
I can't complain, because ultimately it is the government that makes the law.
Watch your face
And I
now.
want everybody to appreciate that the government can change the law as well.
So, me no need to know when it's signed or not. The fact that they are there for 10 years and never change it, they are comfortable with it. And here the other thing,
Of course.
Here the
Yeah.
other thing. Here the other thing. Hold on. I'm going to educate people on
Yes,
this.
can draw to
Hold on,
reference,
man.
Colin.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
Yes.
The reason why the toll fee increase is based on inflation. It is the incompetence of the Andrew Holness-led administration why inflation is running away. Dr. Peter David Phillips, under the leadership of Portia Simpson Miller, came up with a thing called the oil edge. It was an insurance to ensure that when oil passed $67 on the world stage, we have an insurance that would pay anything over $67. Andrew Holness and him crew say we never need that. They move it and them never move it and stop take the taxes. They still took the taxes from us, and now we are in a bind. All of the issues is because of Andrew Holness and him crew.
All right. Look again, Colin. Another thing when sign. And you never read it neither. The cat ban. You remember inside the cat ban too? I never read it either.
Well, them praise themselves for the cat ban. But we're going to run and take a next caller. Go ahead, finish your point. Let me allow you to finish your point.
He specifically said no, but the other cat ban what we have under Omar Davis, that one pay out on the barrel. And this one that they did jump up with and say they're gonna get paid on the barrel because they didn't read it, they go there and come back with their
Yes, we never get none on the barrel. But we're going to run. Little more. Under Omar, it was Criff. All right, cool. Bless. 1-876-804-7072. Good evening.
Yo, Mr. Bell.
Yes, sir.
Greetings.
Blessings.
Yeah. I was just listening this gentleman with them call nephew. Them call him uncle.
Uncle, me call him now, because he must be an uncle.
Yeah. Him is a waste of time still. Them man, they come in like them have a demonical kind of spirit. Like this kind of plantation kind of mentality, slave master mentality. I feel say you don't give them man too much time. In regards to, where them address for the Labour Party. Yeah?
May I listen to you?
Yeah, hear me?
I am listening to you, hearing you loud and clear.
Mr. Bell.
Yes, sir.
Him did the attack. Why you don't just tell him and say the PM the JLP stole the election? You did a beat on the bush, The man rig the election.
There's no bush where I am at to beat around.
Well, I know, regardless of who came out and vote and who not vote, even a blind man can see say, PMP, they won the election. Yo, I don't even know if to say, yo, brother. I mean, come on, man. Get to the point. You beat around the bush. The man them stole the election, and that's why, and all the level of the high level of corruption and everything will go on. Mr. Collins, have a good evening, man. Sometimes boy, I'm disappointed in the eye them because we're not still beat you on the bush. Why should we here wondering, asking why this and why that? The things then where we are asked why this and why that, the things where we're supposed to don't know.
All right, sir.
Things where we feel know we still there asked why this, why that. Come on, man. We know why. It's a government we don't love black people. They use and abuse the less fortunate. Him tell you say already, born a Jamaican, no make a Jamaican. What kind of person that is?
But the people, but the Labour Party people, them still go vote for him, and nearly,
Mr. Bell,
and nearly
Mr.
a
Bell,
million.
what
Hold on. Nearly a million people sit down at them yard and never vote. I agree with
it no matter.
Hold on. The people, listen.
It doesn't matter.
My brother.
It no matter who never vote.
Hold
the
on.
point is,
hold on, man.
the election.
What do you mean it no matter?
Election was stolen.
What evidence you have that the election was stolen?
What evidence do I have?
Yes.
I may have an instinct, you know, and then the evidence is there. I can't go into detail right
Instinct
now.
and evidence, brother.
They're not university professor, but you know, common sense and so.
My friend.
You see the behavior.
My friend.
What you say?
My friend, listen to me. 39% of the Jamaican people came out to vote. What stopped? Hold on, man. What stopped the other 61% from voting?
All right, let's put it like this. Election was properly rigged and very well, much so, was buyed out. You know, man, them buy what them want.
So me ask
because this gentleman, they will say him is prime minister. First to commence, we are going around the bush more while. Ask the man simply. These people don't have no relationship with honesty. So they don't have no relationship with integrity. They have no relationship with moral values. Have a good evening, sir.
Thank you. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Hello? Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Abel.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you hear me?
Loud and clear. Caller?
Abel.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, you know, man.
You have the phone on speaker.
You know, everything that,
you have the phone on speaker. You're having an earbud. Change that position for me. Just talking at the phone, please. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, me not hear so good now, sorry.
You are sounding much better now. Go right ahead. Hello? All right. You know, I hear you. We are hear you when you talk. But I don't know why you're not hear you. Somebody saying I must read the comment. Colin not sure what he believes. The election was rigged and the devil was in the detail. Now, I am not saying that the election was not rigged. I am not saying it was not stolen. I am just asking simply, give me the evidence that you have why you say the election was stolen. I am not saying the election was not bought. But all I'm saying, give me the evidence. Also explain to me why 61% of the voting population did not come out to vote. So all me I say now, I am not going to say the PNP is blameless. And I'm not afraid to say it. The PNP must take some responsibility for the election loss in September of 2025. I am of the opinion that some people win before election day. They got complacent, some got too cocky. And hence, PNP must take some of the blame for losing seats that we should not have lost. There is no way we should have lost Central Kingston. There is no way we should have lost Central Manchester. There is no way Wickham McNeil should have lost this seat. Those are 3 of the seats that, listen me, man. Caller.
Yes, Mr. Bell.
Yes, sir, we're hearing you.
Yeah, you know? All right. You always have a saying when me hear always hear a small like go. Where it's a kind of negative word, but me just say, but I'm not really perfect. But let's say a hungry man, a hungry person catch off from the straw. And to all me see it, this government here, in trying to make the people in Jamaica hungry, that in can set we up in a theme one way, to get theme one way. And you call us something when me listen to that. I think all lady that talk to you. And they say you observe it, the people that may feel it now come out. But to me, I only see it come like something wrong somewhere, brother. I don't know, but I'm going to God can't tell me something wrong along the way. Because this government do so many things to we in Jamaica where people, know, the company me, that's how we are talk. But the same time, nobody now come out and lick out against him.
Let me show you something.
Yeah, that's how
Let me show you something. There was a time when I believed that the PNP had a bigger base than the GLP. It seems to me now that the GLP had a bigger base than the PNP. And let me give you some numbers. In 2020, 300,000 people voted for the PNP. 400,000 voted for the GLP. Think about 410 or 411. In the last election, 404,000 people voted for the PNP. 414,000 voted for the GLP. Watch the difference. It's 3,000 more vote the GLP get in the last election now with them getting at 2020, you know. PNP get 90,000 more, you know.
You know, me have an issue with the election, with the voting business. The voting come like to me, the voting are bogus now. Let me tell you the reason I say that bogus. You observe time election go on nowadays, and the Prime Minister wife in a theme seat part in a theme part in to the people in vote, and when you going to vote, you should vote and come out. And me observe him in a heat and dictate to people at top, people at top, all people from vote all this. I mean, look on something I say it's a dictatorship. You know what I mean? So me look on and say I still can do the man of the election. You know what I mean? So all me see it, and there's my Mackenzie come and say, then you come to PMP. It assures an example, say, them around people, some of the PMP people win, as far as me concerned and see it, them buy out, them if you get them way in. As far as me concerned and see, come and tell you something. Me go for the road plenty of me people attack, I say, PMP come and call liberate now the country good. And my friend, me say them win. So me say there's something wrong along the way, brother.
Let me tell you something.
To me,
hold on.
Go ahead.
I have a friend named Gart Marsby. Call him Shaka D, dig up a fellowship. When me just are getting a representational politics, the man said to me, say, no waste no time with labor right. No matter how you hear them a cuss them party. You see when the bell goes say pengeleng, pengeleng, then go right back, go vote for them party. And me prove that, that's why me I mention it. And no one and no two of them come to me and say, Mr. Bell, we have vote for you, we now vote for them. Some of them tell me, say they now vote us when election call. And them you see on road, I put up flag, I put up flyer, then I think call to you again. You hear me? So when you hear them out, they know I said the country now run good. And they're serious, you know. They mean it.
Yeah.
But you see when Andrew Holness ring the bell for call election, them fall right back in line. That's why I'm telling you, say it's a cult. Because they know that the thing wrong. They know say Andrew statutory filing not certified, but them a vote labor.
So, I'll mention before. I'll use the word further. So for instance, earlier in my statement, a hungry man catch off a straw. So no man hungry, a woman hungry.
A drowning man catch off a straw. Is a drowning man catch off a straw?
We should go away, yeah. All right. We should go away as an example. It to me, them do that to catch people at all time.
I'll give you next joke.
Yeah?
I'll give you next joke. You have a place in the fellowship division where they call Tivoli. Little Tivoli they call it. For about 2 years, the MP no visit them and not give them no talk, not pay them no mind. And me have some comrade down in my kin, Shaka go talk to them because they not deal with them good. You see the day me go down there, go have a talk with them, and we sit down and talk and me buy a drink. You see, by the time me left, the whole GLP was come down, then go right back. You hear me?
It's like a chick daddy. Then you then try to use them all the way from people.
Hey, tell us. So them, what them do, you know, them chat up to you for their friend, see them attack to you, and then their friend call and say, yo, he look like that one, they are going to go with Shaka. So then just come in and give him the piece of food when they want all along.
Yeah, come to exactly me.
So listen to me. Hold on. Listen to me. People in the chat room. I am not saying the election was not stolen. I am not saying the election was not rigged. I am not saying the election was not bought out. But don't just say it. You need evidence. And when you have the evidence, you need to know how to fix it. Because you see, all of what me I tell you about what happened, them happen when me did a run. So you see, when I at a run, me know what to do, and I saw we win back the fellowship division. Because I learned from my mistakes and fix them. And that's why I say PNP have to take some of the blame, because if we went into that election, never know say GLP I go rig, I go thief, and I go buy. Then we went in there foolish.
Yeah. So as I said, in all everything we are going nowadays, so me personally, the country not run good. To be honest with you.
No, the country not run good. Nobody can change that argument.
So the both party, PMP to Labour, right? PMP look out for the poor class of people more, for me or me see. Right? The Labour look out for the more richer class of people. And as far as I'm concerned, when PMP does something and people talk to them about it, they listen to people quicker. You see, Labour does something, them blind to when people correct them. They don't listen when people talk to them. As far as I'm concerned, they don't listen. And that's I think we have a problem with them. No matter who vote or who you vote, at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, the country is really good. We can do it a better way. All right, big up yourself.
Somebody is asking me how you fix it when they have the money. See me one away, I'm going to tell you. Because there is no labor right in Jamaica we have the money where the vases them have. And we can talk that pandis. No way. Them don't have the kind of money where they go to Portland. Yeah? And we beat that money in East Portland. Because when you have your people, we're serious. Because you can stop the money. Don't ask me how here, I can tell you. We beat the money in East Portland. And that's why even when the GLP won the election, the fact that they lost East Portland, they felt like they lost everything. Yeah? That's why when election morning, after election, the morning after election, the biggest talk was about the loss that they suffered in East Portland. It was because of strategy and understanding them game. Go ahead, caller. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Remember, who was in charge of the election before Glassball Brown?
Before Glassball Brown was how it was. It was not Danville. There was somebody between Danville and Glassball.
Yeah, and that person.
Orred Fisher was it?
Before the election.
Was Orred Fisher?
Orred Fisher.
I think so.
Him say, Orred Fisher say before election, say 70,000. No, 700,000 people on the list were dead or migrate. Right? So the list needed to clean up.
Yeah.
So the amount of people who vote is far over 50%.
You think so?
Because that the 700, yeah, I know so.
Yeah.
But because that the 700,000 depending where either dead or migrate, you make it look like it can't run back the average.
But you can't take off them, they will migrate. Those that are dead should come off, and I know that
Yes,
there are
and the man
process.
said
There's a process
he should
to
have
take
cleaned
off
up before
those.
that.
Yeah.
Right? So, and the next thing, remember, you know, the man where the office of the election office in our prime minister office too, you know. Remember in our local election they announced PMP win, you know, and when Andrew come and meet, when in about 10-11, Andrew call a meeting and the man overturn the winnings. Remember all nationwide don't give Mark goal in winnings and for a good campaign, and he did well and really, and then up in 11 o'clock here you say, no.
You see, there's somebody in the chat room telling me why we win East Portland, but I won't respond to you because it takes one to know the other to know the rest. You must be in the same position why you have that feeling about the people of East Portland, because they vote their conscience.
You know, see, so,
money couldn't it buy East Portland this time.
So when you look on all these things, all of them they contribute. All right, look on Central Kingston, one place where you call. Even in the day of election, you could have seen a green gathering. You see a green gathering in a Central Kingston.
Then
every all after election in the evening after party, how much the PR in just say.
But listen to me, caller. We have been asking what role is the Israelis playing in Jamaica's electoral system.
Orange, you see.
And we can't
and
get a definite.
You say, all right. In Israel, you, as a big man in a politics, you ever hear a man win by 11? And when he overturn, the next man win by nearly 100?
No.
You would hear a man win by 15 or 110?
Yeah, or 1 or 2.
But Central Kingston, when he overturn, you know, he wipe off 11 and win by 80 yard. So you look on 100 roughly.
So the People's National Party must fix up them business, brother.
Man, if government alone can't do it, if opposition alone can't do it, civil society have to make sure them the office overturn and no man to stay in the prime minister office who in charge of election.
But listen to me.
Listen, only can't get him out there, you know. And the country have to strike are the big one officer we not support him.
But hold on, man.
Hold on. Fund no election till all these things correct.
Hold on. But the opposition have to bring certain things to the fore. Because a lot of the things... Hold on, man. Hold on, man. A lot of the things that you are saying, that even me I say I speculate, we are speculate. Yeah?
Like what? Like what?
Like Israelis have something to do with our electoral system.
You are speculating. I don't understand nothing about no Israelis. You don't know nothing about
the 700,000 people that you're talking about. We don't know. How many of them dead? How many of them dead and how many of them migrate? Because if people migrate, you can't take off people that are foreign. But you can't take off people that are foreign. People that are foreign, they are Jamaican, them have to be on the team. And I also can tell you that there's a system to remove dead people from the voters list. And that's a fact. Anyway, we are on. Little more.
Yeah, man.
Good evening. Welcome to Portland Spice TV. This is the Colin Bell Show. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, like, and share. Good evening, caller.
Yes, greeting, Colin.
If you have one speaker, take us off the speaker. Or if you have in a earbud, just start directly in the phone for me.
No, you're not on speaker. Are you hearing me now?
Loud and clear now, yes.
Yeah, no, I'm saying greetings to you and all your listeners.
Blessings and welcome.
Yeah, man. So this is the labor right that call in from time to time, you know.
Hold on. Let me just respond to somebody. Somebody saying, so Colin, you knew the strategy for PNP to win and you didn't share it. I know the strategy to win East Portland and we won East Portland. That is where I work and we delivered East Portland for the People's National Party. Me can't only deliver which part me there work. Me can't deliver Central Kingston. I do have no Central Kingston. Anyway, go ahead, caller.
Yes, Colin, well said on your last point there. But in listening to the callers that have been calling in, it is your responsibility to correct them and give them some civic lesson. And the civic lesson that I'm talking about is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica has a Westminster democracy where two parties go to the electorate and the first across the line is declared the winner. That is how it has been.
And how you get first across the line, the one who gets most constituency. The one who wins most constituency is considered the first across the line.
First across the line. That is the politics.
The first party to get to 32 seats becomes government.
Yes, so that is first across the line. And that is what we have been using since 1962.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Now, I understand that the PNP, when they lose, they feel bitter. And I can understand
anybody lose, I go feel bad.
But to start casting aspersions and conspiracy theories about who won, that is not showing respect to your fellow Jamaicans. You must respect the will of the majority. Not because your team lost, you're going to start talking that the election was stolen, because it can simply be said that the PNP, when they won, the elections were stolen. Where's the evidence for that? There's no evidence for that.
Listen,
and I have heard that.
Carla, hear me I say. Whether the election, I go back to 2019 when that by-election was in Portland. I have a friend named Julian King. And that was when I got deeply involved in politics like that. Because before, I was always a supporter of the People's National Party. But I never get involved in active politics. 2019 is when I get active in the politics.
Okay.
And I said to Julian King, Julian, the man them going to thief this election here from we, How them out thief it? And Julian said to me, man, yeah, idiot man can thief election from in a broad daylight. But every morning I see Julian, I would have said to Julian, the man them out thief the election. They stole the election 2019. I know they stole it. I know I have the data. I have evidence of how it was stolen. But I am not telling anybody that the election was not stolen. But if you say it's stolen, you need to have some evidence. You need to know why you said that. I know what happened in 2019. But
Colin, what I'm saying, you've heard, but you've heard. I'm sure you've heard arguments when the PNP win a particular seat, then said that those seats were stolen.
Yeah. It is not new.
So
every
it's a
party
non-argument. It is a non-argument.
It is a
non-argument.
And I don't even want to argue.
It is a non-argument.
You are here this evening.
It is a non-argument.
You are here this evening, so I want to talk to you about the 90s. You were here Sunday morning. And I want to talk to you about the 90s because I know Labourites love to talk about FinSac. And I would love to talk to you about the 90s because you remember you said to me Sunday morning that why the debt to GDP went to 262% from 63% was because of what the PNP did in the 70s. You remember that?
I said partially. Primarily.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say it was the. I did not say it was the only factor. I could not have said that.
But primarily,
because as I mentioned to you, the economy is a continuum from day one till now. I couldn't just isolate a period and say this period is responsible for Jamaica's economic woes. That would be irresponsible of me.
All right. So when I ask you why the debt to GDP ballooned from 63% to 262%, what did you say?
No, we didn't get into that. Okay, let me answer.
No, but you did.
Let me answer.
No, that's not where I want to stay doing, because you did blame the PNP for some of it. I said some of it was because of what the PNP did.
Let me discuss that. Let me discuss that then, right? Because, as I say, the information is now at our fingertips for anybody who wants to go and learn, right? So, I'm sure you know that one of the reasons for the ballooning debt was our increased borrowing, right?
Yes.
By the JLP government.
Oh, yes.
Right? that is what primarily ballooned, and then now.
That's what I told you
terms
Sunday
of
morning. So I'm happy to know that you're learning. Thank you.
No, we did not get into detail.
I
We did not
told you
discuss
that
the 80s in detail.
No, but I told you that why the debt ballooned in the 80s was Siaga was the one who got most loan from the US in the Caribbean in the 80s. And it was those loans and those poor decisions why the debt ballooned from 63% to 262% under Edward Siaga when he was Prime Minister and Finance Minister.
Yes.
But let's go to the 90s. Because I want to remind you that Michael Manley won 1989. And by 1995, the debt to GDP came down to 85%. Were you aware of that? Hello?
What was the national debt in 1989?
The national debt?
Yes.
I'd have to look for that. You have it at your fingertips?
$60 billion. $60 billion. What was the debt in 2007?
The debt in 2007 was about 1.7.
$800 billion. $800 billion.
In 2007.
So the PNP got the economy owing a debt of $60 billion.
Yes.
And when they demitted office in 2007, that debt had ballooned to $800 billion.
So what was the debt to GDP then in 2007?
The debt to GDP in 2007, you might have that information, so you can share that information.
That was 115% after FinSac. But let's go back before we come up to 2007. What caused FinSac, my friend?
FinSac was, look, FinSac was caused because there were inefficiencies in the financial sector, right? No, what was being recommended to the PNP government was the liberalization of the sector should have been gradual, but what happened, it was done almost too quickly.
No, but remember,
right?
Remember when Eddie Siaga lost the election in 1989, he went over the Bank of Jamaica and tell everybody that the exchange rate was going to bust, because he had a false exchange rate. So again, Edward Siaga ended up being a traitor to the country of Jamaica. And that's why
I'm not going to agree with that argument, but I hear you. You can continue.
You're not going to agree? It's not a matter of, it's not a thought, Everybody have a right to their opinion, their own opinion.
No, Mr. Siaga was a patriot. So in my book, Mr. Siaga was a patriot.
In your book that you write.
Yes.
But in the history, Mr. Siaga told the people in the market that the dollar was going to bust because he was running a fixed exchange rate. And the IMF was telling him at the time that we need to liberalize. And when he lost the election in 1989, he went out and tell everybody that, the debt to GDP was going to, the exchange rate was going to bust. And that's when the exchange rate run from 5 to 1 to about 30 to 1.
So you're saying that, so let me get what you're saying. You're saying that a country undergoes a crisis, which every nation, every country will and must budget for crises, right?
Yes.
That is just the nature of governments and of countries in the world. You are going to face a crisis. The important thing is, how do you manage this crisis? So you're saying that you're saying that in the 80s, the period of the 80s created a crisis.
Yes, because what was the net international reserve in 1989?
Look here, Colin, if you're going to talk about that, you have to go back to 1962. You have to deal with the root cause, not the branch and the stem and the leaves.
Hold on. What was the net international reserve? You hear Favor talking about the net international reserve now, or with our 6 billion change? I know that is a good thing. What I want to show you is what you're talking about, a crisis, and you must plan for the crisis. One of the things that is saving Jamaica now is the net international reserve that we have. What was the net international reserve 1989 when Eddie Siaga left government?
It stood at minus $500 million.
That is right. So that's why.
Okay.
That's why when the dollar bust under new PNP administration, they couldn't do nothing about it.
Okay, Colin, we have to preface this and contextualize this conversation, because you see, I can't deal with the leaves only and the branch. I have to go back to the root, because the root is what matters.
But if you want to go back to 1962, if you want to go back to 1962, when did the dollar change from pound? When did money change from pound to dollar?
Hold on. Let's look at where the NIR stood in Jamaica in 1962. Right?
Where was the NIR then?
Sorry. Hold on. At the start of the Manley government.
1972.
Right? 1972, yeah. We're looking at 1972.
Yeah.
Right? It stood at, but Colin, before I even get to that, this is my context. Because as I've said in the previous conversation, you cannot look at things in isolation.
No, we're not.
The world
we're
works.
not. But
you have to look at it as a continuum.
But Carla, we start that from Sunday morning. We're not looking at the thing. Yeah, we start Sunday morning from the 70s, and we dealt with the 70s, and we're coming at the 80s, and we are saying now it's time for the 90s.
So if Jamaican economy grew at an average of almost 6% for 10 solid years up to 1972, and from 1972 to 1980, because of the policies and the flight of capital.
Carla, I don't want to do it with the Sunday morning. We did that Sunday morning.
But we have to deal with history. We have to deal with the historical context. We can't just drop a...
No, but me don't want to school you again. I schooled you Sunday morning on that. And we dealt with the 70s. We dealt with the 80s. I think it's now time for the 90s. I'm not going back. So whatever you call about, go and talk to me about what
all right.
You call about.
Let's not go back. Let's not go back, Colin. So where is the NIR right now?
The NIR right now is about $6 billion. We have Ralston on the line. So I'm giving you 5 minutes to say what you have to say, and then I'll let you go. Go ahead.
Yes. So Colin, all I'm saying is this, right? When you're looking at economy, you have to deal with it as a continuum and not only in isolation. Yes, we know that things happened in the 80s that would have been responsible for the ballooning of the debt to GDP ratio, but it is piggyback on what happened primarily almost solely in the 70s. You have to deal with the root cause of problems, because if we don't, we're going to make the same mistakes over and over and over again.
But you remember,
right?
Hold on, you remember when you just called a while ago, you said Sunday morning that one of the main reasons for the debt ballooning in the 80s was what happened in the 70s. You come back and say no. And I am saying to you, if that was so, how come the debt to GDP went down under the PNP in 5 years? Because when the PNP came to power in 1989, the debt to GDP was 262%. 1995, it was down to 85%, and we pay off the IMF. You remember that?
Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. So why did the national debt balloon from $60 billion in 1989 to almost $1 trillion in 2007?
Because that was the time.
That was 18 and a half unbroken years of PNP management.
So let me answer the question. That was the time when we started building a modern Jamaica. That was the era in which we built Highway 2000. That was the era in which we built the highway from Negril to Port Antonio. That was the era in which we changed the telecom system from a monopoly to multiple players in the system. That was the time when we put in institutions like the Financial Services Commission. That was the time when we basically had to bail out our banking sector when people like Edward Siaga borrowed 30 million US when he was Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, and the people of Jamaica had to pay about.
So what you're saying?
What you're saying?
What you're saying is then,
you know what the answer?
What I say?
Me not finish.
Hold on. So you're saying that the debt ballooned because the government had to borrow to build these institutions and these infrastructure. Is what you're saying, right?
Yes, we were borrowing to build some of these institutions, but
so and that is the reason for the almost $1 trillion debt over 18.5 years, right? Because that can't be good. But if that is your point,
if I can show you,
if that is, so say for instance, I'm going to buy that argument. Say for instance, I'm going to buy that argument. I'm going to buy that argument. Where is the government getting so much money now for all these infrastructural developments?
Still borrowing.
Without that debt being put on the backs of the Jamaican people.
Hold on. Before I bring in Raleigh, I'm going to ask
you.
Hold on, man.
And I'll say this.
Caller.
More infrastructure in 10 years than what the PNP were able to lay down in almost.
That's not true.
In almost 19 years.
But that's not true. But let me ask you a question. What was the...
Hold on,
man. Hold on, my time to talk.
That's not true. What is not true about what I said a while ago?
And I will respond to all of that. What was Jamaica's debt in 2016? What was the national debt in 2016?
Okay, hold on.
What was the debt, Raleigh?
When you finish talking, we talk, man.
All right. So
hold on. I want.
Listen, I'm just giving you.
I want to raise one more point.
No, you have to answer that question. No. You have to answer. Hold on, man. Hold on, caller. You have to answer that question because the follow-up question to that is what is the debt now? So you have to tell me what the debt in 2016 and what is the debt now. Because you're asking where the government get the money from for do infrastructure now, and I'm telling you that they are borrowing it just the same way. But we have to let you go now.
Okay, one on there.
No, man, we can't wait on that. Little more.
All right, cool.
Because you don't have the answer. Cool. Raleigh, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. You want to clear up that for us?
I don't know what you're talking about. The debt is now $2.4 trillion coming from $2.2 trillion. The debt has been increasing.
So the government is always borrowing?
Yeah, man. Always borrowing. I'm about $247 billion this year. To the 24th, which is, I think, maybe on Thursday, they're borrowing another $4 billion to help fund this year's budget. This is part of the $247 billion that they'll be borrowing.
Was there ever a year since 2016 that the government don't borrow any money?
No, man. We have always been borrowing. Every government has always been borrowing. Governments can't operate without borrowing because tax revenues alone can't fund the country.
Never. All right. So clear up something for us because the national debt 1989 was how much?
262% of GDP.
But what was the debt itself? Because he must say it was $60 billion.
Yeah, right. But one of the things where him factor in, we had a bogus exchange rate of 550.
I explained that to him, yes.
1989. The exchange rate in 2007 was $76 and change.
Right.
So that's a big factor. The translation factor, the exchange rate factor is a big factor in the explosion of the debt. So it's not the actual borrowing. It's the translation of the foreign debt into Jamaican dollar debt.
And the change of the exchange rate from 550 to about 30.
Yeah, man. From the bogus 550 to a realistic exchange rate of 76.
Of 76?
Yeah, man.
Wow. So that is what ballooned the debt, not just the borrowing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Anyway, what's happening today, Raleigh? What go on today?
Well, obviously the government will be borrowing another $4 billion on Thursday to fund the budget, and the Bank of Jamaica will be mopping up $27 billion tomorrow.
They're mopping up 27 billion more tomorrow. So
Yeah, man.
Fearval Williams tell us that the private sector would be pushing the rebuilding effort. How will the private sector be pushing that rebuilding effort when the government constantly mopping up liquidity, giving private sector an avenue to put their money instead of in infrastructure development?
Well, clearly show that the minister don't know what she's talking about. The damn thing is simple, you know. She just don't know what she's talking about because the interest rates are high because the BOJ is mopping up. International energy prices are climbing. International interest rates are going up. It is costing America $37.5 billion for the war already. So all those things pushing up the US budget deficit, and inflation is accelerating. So international interest rates are increasing. So the Bank of Jamaica will continue to mop up. Inflation is now 6.7%, which is above its target range of 6%. And the energy prices are climbing. So what we're going to see is a scarcity of resources for the private sector to invest, and the government is also providing an incentive for the private sector not to invest in the real sector by providing all of this paper. The $4 billion will be borrowed at 8.5%.
8.5%.
Yeah, man.
So the government is hiking up interest rate, giving higher interest rate.
Yeah, man.
And the mopping up will be at what percent?
5.75%. So both the government and the BOJ, they are discouraging investment to the policies that they are pursuing. So the BOJ is rewarding people, giving the 5.75% per annum, not to get in the real sector. And the government is paying 8.5% per annum for 13 years and 8 months in order to control that money. If they don't invest back that money in the economy, then the recession will continue.
Raleigh, there's something I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah.
The toll increase. One of the reasons for it is because of inflation, right?
Yeah, man. The inflation and the exchange rate translation.
So there's two factors that deals with toll increase. The exchange rate factor and inflation.
Yeah, man.
In the period between 2012 and 2016, Dr. Peter Phillips, under the leadership of Portia Simpson Miller, came up with the edge fund, the edge tax, to ensure our purchasing of oil once it passed, what, $67 rounding it off.
$66 on change.
Right, so
rounding the strike rate.
Right, so rounding it off at $67. The fact that that was moved, not continued, not improved upon, Colin Bell is putting this inflation hike and the hike on the cost of transportation squarely at the feet of Andrew Holness. Do I have a factual statement?
Well, not for the inflation itself, but in relation to the lack of a mechanism in order to contain the impact of the inflation on energy pricing. So yes, so the removal of the edge was a major fundamental error.
But tell me this, Raleigh. If we had maintained and improved on the edge, not just maintain, but improved on that edge, and we were still paying $67 a barrel for gas, for oil on the world market now, would inflation be at 6.7%?
Well, no.
So,
no, but
so then my statement is factual then.
Well, what I say is that part of the inflation that we're experiencing have to do with international development in terms of the war.
But the major impact, Raleigh, on the war is our energy costs.
Yeah, the major impact has to do with energy. But there are also
transportation.
Yeah, man. But there are also other factors. Yeah, so you have the food side, and you have the energy side. So whatever side you take it on, the fact of the matter is that the removal of the hedge was a fundamental policy error. There are two factors that drive inflation now: food and energy.
Yeah. So, yeah. But what impact transportation is having on the?
A big impact. The food impact is bigger. The transportation impact is very big.
Oh, so the food impact is bigger than transportation.
Yeah, man.
But if you put transportation and energy together, what is bigger?
No, man. The transportation and the energy is in one bag, and the food is in another bag. So the transportation and energy was 7.3% during the 1 year period, and the food and non-alcoholic beverages was 9.8%. So those are the two main driving factors. So whichever way you take it, it was a bad move.
Let me see if this Virginia have a question for you. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, Colin.
By the way,
To answer your
91.
question, the national debt in
caller.
2016.
Hold on, caller, hold on. Yeah, Raleigh.
Yeah, British oil is at $91 today, and American oil is at $84.66.
Yeah, caller. What you say?
Are you hearing me?
Yeah. Yep, hold on. You have a question for Raleigh?
Yeah. So Raleigh, I was the one debating Colin, right? So he had asked me the national debt in 2016.
Yeah, man, but we now go back to that, caller. We now go Raleigh tell you that already.
No, but hold on. But this is important. The national debt 10 years ago was 15 billion US. 10 years later, it is 15.5 billion US. Isn't that a good management? That's a very negligible increase in the national debt over 10 years. It tells me that there's steady hands on the ship.
Let me ask you a question.
Compared to 60 billion in 1989 and 800 billion 18 and a half years later.
Yeah, but you heard the explanation from Ralston on why the debt reached this.
Political point in my time.
Okay. So what is the reason for this negligible growth in the national debt?
Let me ask you a question. Are you aware that Jamaica is in a recession right now?
No, I am not aware that Jamaica is in a recession.
You're not aware. All right, go study that. What is a recession? You know when a country is in a recession?
Hello?
Are you aware when a country is in a recession or what takes a country in a recession?
I see people going about them business and doing them shopping and making money. I'm not seeing the recession.
So you're not seeing it, and you're not aware that Jamaica is in a recession.
So even if it is, because I'm not that technical like Raleigh, right? About the technical realities of a recession. But what I'm saying, question to Raleigh before I go. Ralston, the debt has increased by $500 million over 10 years. So $15 billion in 2016, 15.5 billion now. Is that good management? Because that's a very negligible growth.
Let me read something here. This is the government of Jamaica's medium-term debt management strategy, fiscal year 2026-2027, over the signature of Andre Foster, principal.
All right, hang up and listen. Hold on, Raleigh. Yeah. Make him hang up, turn up back in TV and listen. Go ahead now.
Yeah. I'm reading from the medium-term government of Jamaica medium-term debt management strategy, fiscal year 2026, 27, 2029, 30. And it is over the signature of Andre Foster, Principal Director of the Debt Management Unit of the Ministry of Finance, February 12, 2026. Dan Black, Deputy Financial Secretary, Economic Management Division of the Ministry of Finance, February 12, 2026, right? And it says, as at the end of the fiscal year 2025-26, the total public debt was $2.4 trillion, or 68.9% of gross domestic product. The debt in 2016 was $2.2 trillion. Additionally, after the 18 years that I'm talking about, the total debt, the total amount of money that we owed from a start borrow was $972 billion. And in 2012, it jumped to $1.6 trillion. So tell him getting facts.
So hold on now, because this is one period that GLP don't discuss. 2007 to 2012. So where was Jamaica's debt in 2007 again?
That's the point I'm making to you. $972 billion.
In 2007. And at 2012, where were we?
$1.6 trillion.
So that is $700 billion go on the debt in 4 years.
That is when we took the IMF and the World Bank and the IDB money and ran away from them and never did anything and got locked out of the international capital markets. We know they were trying to erase that part of the history, but it cannot be erased.
Yes. And that is the part where we never reach. Because him want to discuss the 90s. Him want to discuss.
No, man. We know that, man.
Him
That
want to
answer
discuss
can't wait,
Michael Manley in the 80s.
Yeah, man.
In the 70s.
Yeah,
and him don't really want to discuss Siaga in the 80s because he's blaming Michael Manley for the ballooning of the debt in the 80s. Yeah? And give the PNP no credit to bring it down. But that's them. Let's go back to the serious thing, you know, Rally. Because you hear what I'm saying? Him not see no recession.
Yeah, man. So you know, him not really understand.
I guess he might look for it like black and steel and cement.
Yeah, but see, black and steel and cement. We say all for black and steel and cement are go up and all of them empty. A recession cause them say empty. Nobody can go in at them.
Nobody now buy the houses.
Yeah, we see the government tax revenues down by $22 billion. We see we're underpaid the debt, the same thing that them are boss over.
By $12 billion.
Yeah. Yeah, we see 20,500 people lose their work in 12 months. That's more than 2,000 per month. We see another 20,500 leaving the labor force because they're frustrated and can't get no work. We see every year our tax revenue is down. Yeah, we see exports down by 20%. So, I mean,
you see,
we really need objectivity.
Me enjoy talking to them, you know, because it gives us an opportunity, Rally, to bring across some of the points where we wouldn't normally even touch on, you know. Because when they come with them little yap and them little foolishness, it gives us an opportunity to really reach out. Because I want to go back to 2007. What was our international reserve 2007, Rally?
2.4 billion.
2.4 billion. Debt to GDP was 15%?
115%.
And the debt itself, you say, was 900 billion.
$972 billion.
972 billion. Now, at 2012, what was the net international reserve?
2012, we were under $1 billion. We run out of money.
So, the GLP broke down the net international reserve. What was the debt?
The debt was $1.6 trillion.
And what was
it was 150% of GDP.
And they brought up the debt to GDP to 150%.
Yeah, man. And we couldn't get no money for borrow. The man them lock well.
That was the first time we were expelled from the multilaterals?
Yeah, man, and we were the laughing stock of the international community. Everybody has said when Jamaica got failed. And every day people have to walk with the resignation. And they were saying, just sign anything with the man them voted for sign. We are the highest primary surplus in the entire world. Simply translated, we have to set aside the highest amount of money in the entire world to service the debt. And that is how the administration was forced to take money from the housing trust to start paying down the debt because the man themselves from not that when I let them in back.
And Andrew Holness supported the people bringing the government to court, saying that we should.
He personally did that. He never supported. He was the orchestrator of that.
So we shouldn't take the money from the NHT.
Yeah, man. I must ring fence it and you must do all kind of stuff. Yeah.
We have a caller. Caller, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Good day, Mr. Colin. How the day? Good?
We're good, man. We're good.
Yeah, well, that's the you're taking, you know, the different phases and, you know?
Yes.
The economic, you know?
Yeah.
Me listen to everybody. Me listen to everybody. That's me. Understand?
That's all right. We don't have a problem with that.
I am a learner.
Yeah, man. We know that you have options and we are happy when you come over here. And
yeah, man.
You have good chance when you stay.
In order to, because you see, what would I really want to say, because Jamaica been facing this economic problem, whether I believe it or not, for a very long time. Me don't know about the 60s. Me don't know nothing about the 60s. Me read about it, you know, but I don't know about what this economic situation. Me know about the 70s, I'm about 71. You understand what I'm saying? So I was a child. Me know but I am saying that the both party make some serious bad decision we keep paying back for. Because, all right, I have 4 children, right? Me leave high school about 87, some of this, all right? I'm leave high school, me I get about $20 for my lunch money. Well, thank God, all of my kids them now leave school because my youngest son at 18 just graduated from high school. And the lowest me have to get any one of them was $1,500. And that must be for sure where the dollars is coming from. And bad management, because both the PNP and JLP have poor management of the economy. And I don't know why they don't seem to be getting it right. I don't know what is the problem. Both PNP and JLP. I don't know, because...
May I listen to you, caller? I'm listening to you.
Yeah. But to me, we have a financial minister problem in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, the best one me see with my eye, I mean, I talk about live experience is Nigel Clark.
Which one?
The
Nigel
best one
Clark?
me see. Yeah, because honestly, me not lie.
What do you
because,
use? Hold on. What do you use to determine
which
which one is the best one? Yeah.
All right. Let me tell you something. Me I use what is known as, you see, as live experience. You understand?
Yeah.
Because as I say, I am not an economic, so I use live experience. And I want to share a person. I want to share a personal story with you. I remember the Omar Davis, right?
Yeah.
My well, I call it my father, but I really my stepfather, but him grew up, so I'm going to use father for the argument here, right? Things that making nearly commit suicide. Because he was actually one of the first.
So let me ask you a question.
First man in Jamaica. Yeah.
So you blame Omar Davis for FinSac?
Yeah, he was the minister.
Hold on. Just you said yes. So what responsibility would you put on Edward Siaga for FinSac?
All right. Let me tell you why I would not put any responsibility on Edward Siaga. Edward Siaga leave power.
No man, hold on. Just say none. Hold on. Caller. Hold on, man. Hold on now. We not have whole evening. Yeah, so if you're not blame him, just say no, you don't put none.
Yeah, put none. Yes. Edward Siaga leave power in 1989. The PNP did have about 2 to 3 years leading up to FinSac. I believe the FinSac was the worst financial decision in Jamaica. I mean, there could be other options that they could have used.
Hold on.
So, you know what people commit suicide because of FinSac?
Caller, hold on now. We'll listen to you. Just hold on now. You are saying that Nigel Clark is the best finance minister you see, and you are using live experience. You are blaming Dr. Omar Davis for FinSac, and you said that there is no blame to be laid at the feet of Edward Siaga. Are you aware?
No,
hold on.
I want to tell you why I said.
Hold on. Caller, listen.
The public now get service. Everybody attack at the same time.
Yeah, man. Caller, you have to listen. We listen to you, and I allow you. You say you're not blaming Siaga for nothing in a FinSac.
I'm not. Yeah.
Right. So listen now. No, we don't need why, because you're not blaming him. So you don't have to explain why you're not blaming him. But I'm going to tell you why he must be blamed. He's a part of the problem. And here why the part of the problem. I don't know if you are aware that while Mr. Siaga was Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, he borrowed $30 million US. Yeah? And said that he forget. That was a part of the money that the Jamaican taxpayers had to pay back. That was a part of the responsibility of FinSac to pay back that money. Hold on. Raleigh.
Yeah, man.
How would you rate Dr. Nigel Clark as a finance minister?
Well, the first thing to get the public a proper understanding is to ask the caller.
I'm not hearing Raleigh.
All right.
But
hold on. Him say I have a problem hearing you. But hold on.
No, I want him to rate Nigel Clark.
Then that's
the finance minister before.
No, man. Hold on.
I don't want him to rate him based on a world rating median. Omar Davis, a Peter Philip, Edward Siaga.
Caller, hold on. Hold on. We'll tell you how we rate finance minister around here. We rate them on the data of the work that they have done and their accomplishments. We don't rate them on gut feelings. So I would suggest that you're going to listen, and if you want to call back, if you're not here, Raleigh, or mute your phone and turn up your TV Or you can turn up your TV, me mute you. Go ahead, Raleigh.
Yeah, but the first thing we want him to tell the public is why him say Nigel Clark are the best finance minister.
All right. Let me allow him to do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell the people why you say Nigel are the best.
All right. Personally, I say Nigel Clark, you see, come to power, right? And I have seen, I don't know if you would put this to finance, but I have seen the most youth, the most people go to put their hand to work. I'll get the biggest raise, and I'm working from I'm 18 and I'm 55. I'm seeing the biggest raise on Nigel Clark. I have seen where I have seen work where money must be in the kitty. I've seen the most police station being repaired, the most school being repaired. I have seen work where I can look and say, well, you know, there must be a way where money, the no tax where I see money are coming and no tax. I remember under the PNP, but now like tax that kill it.
No man, just rate Nigel because we don't rate Nigel, you know, brother. We think Nigel, Uncle Favor worse than Nigel. I maybe fucking money. All right, listen now. Turn up your TV and listen. Go ahead, Raleigh.
Yeah, well, that's, you know, in economics, we're not talking about people like a personal gut feeling. Yeah? The primary objective of macroeconomic policy anywhere in the world is to provide the highest levels of employment possible with social equity and price stability. So it means a good finance minister must ensure that the economy grow. The economy not grow under Nigel Clark. A good finance minister, he might talk about spending on that. Nigel Clark and first finance minister were the spending on infrastructure. Yeah? The Jamaica's infrastructure crumbled under Nigel Clark. He always said the procurement problem that we're talking about right now, that was one of the reasons that caused him to overpay the debt and underspend on infrastructure, causing Hurricane Melissa to rip out 57% of Jamaica's GDP in terms of infrastructure spending. Nigel Clark just left the economy just the other day and we had a steep recession at this particular point in time because of the impact of Melissa and the low growth that we had prior to Melissa and the underspending on infrastructure. So he's responsible for the poor performance of the economy that we're seeing right now. So I don't know what the caller talk about. He might talk about the highest raise. Nigel Clark give the top echelons of the public sector the highest raise and busted the budget and then said that would bring it back down to the 9% from the 14% to which he push it with growth. Although we can't see growth, what we're seeing is a steep recession. Nigel Clark caused this inequality now where the bottom of the public sector workers are struggling with the government now to get an increase at a time when the economy is in a steep recession and government revenues are 22 billion below budget and then can't find the money to pay the workers. They offer them 2% in year one, 2.5% in year two, 2.5% in year three. That's 2.33% over a 3-year period when inflation is expected to average 7%. So he might talk from gut feeling, he might talk from data and then something. So I just understand.
So my view is that Nigel Clark failed to grow the Jamaican economy. You don't believe? Hold on. You don't believe? Listen,
which is the primary responsibility of a finance minister.
Of course. Listen to this caller.
Wide News Network has a question for you, Dr. Clark of the JLP.
Dr. Clark, what happened to 5 and 4?
Thank you for that question, Kalila. What is the purpose of economic growth? One of the purposes of economic growth is to increase employment. Under the Jamaica Labour Party, employment has increased by 100,000, and unemployment fell to the lowest levels in history. We achieved that. Another purpose of economic growth is to reduce poverty. Under the Jamaica Labour Party administration, poverty fell by 40% to the lowest levels in 10 years. We achieved that purpose. Another purpose of economic growth is to increase tax revenues so that public services can be expanded and improved for your benefit. Under the Jamaica Labour Party, tax revenues increased by 40% over 4 years, which allowed us
to increase capital expenditure by 250%, delivering higher quality of public services for you, investing in security, health, investing in infrastructure, and in education and other forms of capital expenditure. Growth is a means to an end. We have achieved the ends for which our targets have been set.
So that's Nigel Clark. Can't talk. The question was what happened to 5 and 4, because I don't remember if the caller remember that the Jamaica Labour Party government promised 5% growth in 4 years. You remember that?
Of course I do.
And how much did they get to? What did they get
By
to?
the way,
listen.
Hold on, Raleigh. What did they get to?
I know we get some 2%, 1.5%, which
so
have
if,
always
hold on.
been a situation.
So hold on. So if you promise 5% growth in 4 years, and the ICE you just said a while ago is 2%, isn't that a failure by more than 50%?
Yeah, but hold on.
Yeah, but let me tell you something.
Hold on a little bit, caller.
Hold
on. Go ahead, Raleigh.
Yeah, listen, let me show you something.
Hold on, caller. Hold on. Go ahead, Raleigh.
The World Bank, not me, not you. The World Bank says Jamaica's average economic growth rate over the last 10 years was 0.8%.
All right. 0.8%.
The World Bank says that, and me says so.
But by his answer a while ago, you know,
of
he
course,
said they get to 2%.
Yep.
2% is what? About 40% or 5%?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, caller.
Yeah, but remember, you know, the same World Bank where we are talking about, say, boy, all developing countries should look on Jamaica as a model, because
for what?
Jamaica their economic system.
When?
Yeah, but that means for them never say. Well,
I've seen Jamaica and a Niger Clark get a lot of accolades from rural people.
All right, make him talk.
Say he's doing great.
All right, hold on.
A lot of accolades.
All right, hold on. Where's the Raleigh?
Yeah, that not means for them never say the economy only grew by 0.8%. Them disappointed with that, which is the primary responsibility of macroeconomic policy. The ratings agencies them also said, Standard & Poor's and Moody's and Fitch also say that Jamaica pay down them debt faster than any other country with the same rating, but their growth rate is the worst with the country of their own rating apart from 80.
All right. So, caller.
You never read anything then?
Yeah, I read everything, man.
All right, caller.
So you ignore them and you read them?
No, I'm not ignoring. I am just saying, no government will come with a PNP or JLP and based on where we are.
When was the last time? I'm going to ask you a question, because as we said, we judge finance ministers by growth in the economy. When was the last time the Jamaican economy grew by 3%?
When was the last time
the Jamaican economy grew by 3%? And who was the finance minister?
To me, the last major growth Jamaica get was in the 80s. And at the when we were free zone and factory them that day. No, no more. Listen.
No, the question I ask you, when was the last time the Jamaican economy grew by 3%? Because you said Nigel Clark under the promise.
I think, listen, I think about 19, some in 90, there about 3%, but after that we have a decline. Remember, you know.
All right, so hold on. Carl, I'm going to make you go have some other people on call. The last time the economy grew by 3% was 2006, 2007 under Omar Davis. Go research it.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call. Yeah, Raleigh, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So, as I said, again, one of the things that him said, we have the lowest unemployment rate.
Yes.
But we also have the situation where the economy is declining and in a recession. So it tells you that policies are not good and productivity is weak. If you have the majority of your people working and you are producing less than when the majority of the people are working, and you are now starting to decline while the majority of your people are working, it tells you that they are not doing anything that is productive.
Not productive. And you have too many people working a job that somebody should have been working. And how many people do we have chewing boxing, Mr. Chin Shop and wiping car glass, which is counted in the unemployment?
Yeah, we're counting people who are washing cars and walking up and down selling mangoes and rags and all of those things in the employment. Yep.
We have another caller. Caller, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. If you have not yet given the video a thumbs up, Give the video a like for me now, please. We have Ralston Iman, the top financial analyst anywhere on media. Go ahead, caller.
Good evening, Colin.
Yes, sir. Blessings.
I hope everything is well. Listen, there's a book that I purchased some years ago. It is written by a former lecturer at the University of the West Indies, Douglas Hall. It's called Miserable Slavery.
Miserable Slavery. Tala.
Miserable Slavery.
Hallelujah.
That book basically it chronicled this former slave plantation owner, Thomas Thistlewood. Thomas Thistlewood.
Yeah.
There's a part in the book where they were growing canes, and the canes were young, but there was like some famine. And as a matter of fact, it took place at a plantation in Westmoreland called Egypt. Now, the canes were young, but they were famine, so the slaves were eating the cane. There's a particular slave called Derby, D-E-R-B-Y. And when the Derby was caught eating the cane, what they did was Thistlewood caused another slave to defecate in Derby's mouth and sew it shut. And that was replicated across several plantations in Jamaica. Actually, he went to the States as well. Colin, when I hear some people come on your show and talk, I ask myself, where is Thomas Thistlewood when we need him? Because when they come and they talk stuff, they believe that nobody ever does any research or anything. And there's, they are, the ones who have the authority on those issues. When in 1980, I was like 10 years old. So, I'm not a young guy. I was 10 years old. And leading up to that, there was a dearth of food, nothing we could get. I come from a community in Montego Bay called Norwood. And my father was a vendor. And when we were downtown, we couldn't get anything. And if you want a pound of flour, a pound of sugar, it was married, call it at that time, married with
I know the
tampon or something like that.
I know the time.
Right? Now, the morning after the elections, when the JLP won, there's a particular supermarket in Montego Bay at that time called Hometown Supermarket. When you go to Hometown, you couldn't get anything. The following morning,
right after the election,
shelves were stocked from top to bottom.
Yeah, man.
Right? And at that time, I'm a little boy and everything. I said, boy, JLPs, nothing good like JLP. But then when I got older,
you understand?
I realized that it was the private sector and the opposition worked together to bring down the government. And I said to myself, how can I support a party like this? I could never, ever, in good conscience, support a party like this. And another thing, before I go, because I don't want to keep you guys long, before I go, Bounty Killer had done a song, I think in the 90s, called I Can't Believe My Eyes.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the things I can't believe is how a Rastafarian could ever voted for the JLP after the Coral Gardens in Montego Bay incident.
They don't know the mystery, brother. They don't know the mystery. All right, give thanks.
I asked those Christians. Yeah, man, give thanks, man. Give thanks.
Raleigh, that's why they don't understand. That's why we don't support Argentina no more. And maybe even happy that they lost on Sunday.
Yeah, man. The caller is spot on.
Spot on.
All the things they missed was the IMF was a part of it, and the US government
was a part of it. And the US government was a part of the food shortage. The CIA, not the IMF, the CIA.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Caller, good evening. We're taking 2 more calls. Give the video a thumbs up for me, please. 2 more calls we're taking. Go ahead, caller. Hello?
Yes, good evening. Good evening, Ralston.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, man. I hear you, man.
Yes. I just want to ask Ralston, why is it that the JLP government caused the PNP say all them do is taxation when they were in power? But however, with them in a year power for 10 years, more than 10 years, and they never reduced none of the taxes. They never reduced tax.
Instead, they might increase it. So in the last budget, had 18 billion in new taxes.
and still drawing down the housing trust money that they say that they oppose. And that is one of the things that is weighing down the economy and drowning the economy, and that is why they are not collecting the money and can't pay the public sector workers and can't fix up the country's infrastructure. And that's why we are in a recession.
Yes. What I realize is that the JLP government, I use the same system where them cost every day. Say it's pure taxation, PNP do, but they never reduce the tax.
Yeah, man.
And I run the country.
But you heard, hold on. You heard Nigel Clark in the clip a while ago saying that the government was collecting 40% more in taxes.
Yeah, man.
That was the policies coming from Peter Phillips and Portia Simpson Miller and Mark Golden, you know. I never implement them measures that the government was collecting more taxes, you know.
And by the way, Colin, the caller that you said, him said during that period, Mayor was pay taxes. You know why they have pay taxes?
Yes.
Because they have to bring down the debt from the 150% to which the man then push it and cause us to get locked out of the international capital markets.
That time between 2007 and 2012 when the GLP wrecked the Jamaican economy.
So between 12 and 16, Portia and Peter had to impose taxes in order to pay down the debt.
And take money from NHT and wage freeze and all kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, so that is why when them hand over back now to Nigel, them could have said, boy, we have a very good picture on which to bat on.
Yeah,
so we're going to do 5%. All right, cool.
Yeah. And that's when they promised the 5% growth in 4 years.
Correct.
Never. And I am happy that the caller admit that they got to maybe about 2%.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you rate a man that promise you 5% and only give you 2%?
Mm-hmm.
Fail by his own number by more than 50%. And you say him your rate. Rubbish.
Yep.
All right, caller, one more before we go rally. 1-876-804-7072. This is the Colin Bell Show. We're live on Portland Spice TV. We have the top financial analysts anywhere on media. Ralston Hyman with us at this time. Go ahead, caller.
Good evening, Colin. Good evening, Ralston.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Caller?
Yes. So I just want to let the person that said he was a JLP to remember that he was talking about the Westminster, that Jamaica operate under the Westminster, right? But what he also need to remember that the Prime Minister in the UK has stepped down, and he stepped down because he had someone in his cabinet that mixed up with Epstein. Has nothing to do with the Prime Minister, but yet he has to step down. He had to resign. Right now, our Prime Minister is under investigation, and he's still there
for illicit enrichment. Caller, don't forget what for illicit enrichment.
Right. Member in his cabinet have been recommended to be charged and still in
illicit enrichment, caller. For illicit enrichment.
Yes, for illicit enrichment. So what he is saying, it doesn't make any sense, you know, because he's speaking about the Westminster
system of government,
but yet still. So basically what he's saying is we should overlook some of Westminster rule and adopt the one that suit them.
Good point, caller. You're spot on. Respect. Thanks for the call. We're wrapping up.
Thank you very much. All right, cool.
Yeah, man. Raleigh, anything you want to update the people on before we go?
Well, as I was saying that the situation in the global economy, the situation is deteriorating. Crude oil prices are starting to climb again. Inflation climbing again. Commodity prices climbing again because Bob Almanda is now black. We want people them to know.
Yeah, because the man them not say them are locked that part around there, so.
Yeah, man, the answer ruler Houthi said Bob Almanda is now blocked. So the two most important waterways in the Middle East where all of the commodities, oil and those things come through, fertilizer and all of those things are now blocked. And what Donald is saying is that the Iranians are going to pay for the American soldiers that have been killed. And the Iranians are saying that we are going to be continuing what we are doing, blocking Bob al-Mandab, keep on blocking the Straits of Hormuz and keep on attacking your Gulf allies, desalination plants, energy plants, and all of those things until you come to the table, because we are not going to give up control over the Straits of Hormuz or Bab al-Mandab. So international inflation is accelerating. Interest rates are going up. The government of Jamaica will have to move quickly to do something with the Jamaican economy, or the recession will get deeper and deeper. No matter what the caller saying, don't see any recession. Yeah? That's the situation.
Well,
so
well
we
there's
need
a
to hear
saying in
from-
a rally that there's none so blind than he who refuses
man.
to see.
Yeah,
So
man, he's just a propagandist, man.
you
He's not
can't
really
stay
serious
there.
about Jamaica. Yeah, he's not serious about Jamaica.
No.
A propaganda deal. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So that's the situation we are right now. There's no more World Cup distraction. So the reality, back to school is coming up. All of those things. So we need to hear from the government what it is doing. The government cannot continue to take money from the system and not pump it back in the system. The BOJ cannot continue to do what it is doing if the government and the BOJ are doing the same thing. All of that happens is that the recession is going to get deeper and deeper,
and
the
longer.
social and longer, and the social problems that come with that are going to escalate. Man and them woman are war. Police are kill more man. Man are rob. This or that. That everything that is bad. So we need fear from the government. The current strategy cannot continue. We need a change in strategy. Simple.
The government made a blunder at the beginning of the administration.
Yeah,
the
man.
removal of the edge
Yeah, man.
was a
And the pain
bad
and the
bad
Yep.
decision.
Yep, and the pain of down of the dead faster than program for and sacrificing the country's infrastructure.
Was another bad
mis-
decision.
Big. And they continue with that foolish strategy. Yep.
So two bad decisions. Overpaying on the debt.
Yep.
And removal
removing-
of the edge.
Yeah, man.
That is now coming at us
Yep.
like a runaway train.
Mhm.
Gas price is running out of control when you have
Yeah,
the
man.
government increasing diesel by $12.50
Yep.
per liter. One
Yep.
go.
Yep. Yep, and I hope that they don't continue that tomorrow, because what we are seeing now is that the international prices for crude is going up. So let's see what they're going to do, because everybody's telling you everything. Rural inflation is going to accelerate, because everything that goes through the toll now will have to pay more money.
Oh, yes.
So the final consumer in the rural areas will have to pay more for everything now. Yeah? The tourism product is going to be affected, because a man who live in a Kingston or a beach country, he might have a problem in paying the tolls and all of those things. Yeah?
Wow. Come to Portland. There's no toll to come to Portland.
All right.
So
we have a
when you
big
come
problem.
to Portland, no toll no did Rally? Serious
man.
time. We can only speak
Serious
the truth.
time. Yeah,
we
man.
can only
Yeah, man.
speak the truth and tell the
Yeah,
people
man.
what is happening. We're not hiding anything from the people. If it's good,
Yeah,
it's
man.
good. If it's bad, it's bad.
Yeah.
And we are going
And
to
we have-
call it like it is. When you
Yeah,
have
man.
gut
And-
feelings, go to your bathroom.
Yeah,
Drink
man.
some
We are dealing with-
Pepto-Bismol
Yeah.
with your gut feelings.
We're
Data.
dealing with data. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Data.
We feed you on a steady diet of data around here.
Data.
Accurate
Yeah, man.
data.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Drink some Pepto-Bismol with your gut feelings. Go to toilet.
Our
Or
data
drink some
comes straight
Cersei.
from the Ministry of Finance, Bank of Jamaica, Statin, IMF, World Bank, PIOJ. Yeah. We don't create data for ourselves.
No.
Yep. Yep.
The government
And your
numbers and the
Yeah,
government
your analysis-
institutions.
Yes, your analysis must be data driven. It can't be driven, as I said, by your gut feeling. Those things are for the bathroom. Yeah, man.
What are the institutions Nigel Clark brought in place, Raleigh, that
None.
we are surviving off now?
None that we can see, Clark.
No institution was
No,
brought in place by
because
Nigel Clark.
Even the independence of the Bank of Jamaica started with Peter Phillips. All those things were laid down in the IMF agreement with Dr. Phillips, the independent central bank. Yeah.
Raleigh, we talk tomorrow evening, my brother. One love.
All right.
Bless you.
Yeah, man.
To all my
All right.
viewers and listeners and callers, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, like, and share. Give the video a thumbs up. That's your admission free. That's all we ask when you come here. Give the video a thumbs up. Show that real people are listening, real show. We thank Ralston Hyman for spending the time with us this evening. And big up to labor right to get brave and call. Me like that. I want to call more because we need to educate you people. Because listeners and viewers, if you ever spend some time over one of them channel, and them something them I tell people, yes, say Nigel Clark are the best thing since sliced bread. Without any data to back it up on their gut feelings. When we had the highest unemployment in Jamaica, it was slavery. Low unemployment, when we have the highest employment in Jamaica, it was slavery. What we have now is almost slavery because most of the people who are working are getting little or nothing. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. Until we meet again tomorrow evening for more on the Colin Bell Show. Peace be with you, my people. Louis Gangali Culture, take us out of here.
Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Remember to subscribe. See, Portland Spice TV, Louis Culture said once, so I say it again. Portland Spice TV. We are going to hold them and pop it off. Bogus badge where we rip off. Subscribe, share. Portland Spice TV is